Hey guys, Karen from Curl House. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, a certified trichologist, and the owner of the Curl House Hair Restoration Collection. And today I'm going to switch it up a little bit. This video is geared toward the women who are trying to transition from relaxed hair to natural hair. I got you too. I'm going to give you my 5 top tips, things that you can do to effectively transition from relaxed hair to natural hair. Now, most of us who are natural, we've already been through the journey. We've already been through the transition. And the transition is not easy for everyone, particularly when I transitioned. When I transitioned years ago, it's probably been over 15 years. Nobody told me what I'm going to tell you. I just kind of cut my hair off and started like that. I just kind of went bald. Most people don't do that. Most people like to grow out their hair a little bit and transition. So I'm going to give you some tips on how you can do it more effectively and make it more easy for you during this process. Okay, number 1. You have to free your mind and the hair will follow. So I know that's probably not what you're expecting. So in other words, that means you have to change your mindset going in. I think that is the biggest thing you have to do. When you change your mindset and say that I'm going to get through this transition, I love my hair, my new growth coming in is gorgeous. You have to say my hair is uniquely mine. These are the things you have to start feeding yourself about your hair, particularly about your natural hair, because trust me, you're going to have people telling you things that's opposite of what you want to hear. You're going to have people discouraging you, telling you don't do it. Your relaxed hair is gorgeous. You look pretty with your relaxed hair. Oh, I like your hair straight. Or why are you doing that? You're going to have to combat all that negativity, and you're going to have to combat the negativity. So you're going to have to change your mindset, right? To keep yourself encouraged while you're going through this process. So again, change your mindset. Start to feed yourself with positive thoughts about your hair. The main one I encourage you to say is that my hair is uniquely mine. Because what happens when you go natural, our natural hair is different. Our texture is different. Our curl pattern is different. Our length is different. So your hair is not going to look like your mama hair. It's not going to look like your sister's hair. It may not look like your daughter's hair. It is uniquely yours. And that's what you're going to have to accept. That regardless of what your hair looks like, it is uniquely yours. It is fabulous and it is beautiful. So that's number 1. Number 2. It's about hairstyles. Do hairstyles which mimic your natural hair. So in other words, the type of hairstyles you should be getting during your transition are curly styles. So you can do rod sets. You can do flexi rod sets. You can do flat twist outs. Hairstyles that are curly, which mimic your natural hair, as opposed to straight styles. Do not go throughout your entire transition and just flat iron your hair. You don't want to do styles that look like your relaxed hair because that's not going to help you transition your mindset. If you keep seeing yourself with straight hair, it's going to be very difficult for you to see yourself with curly hair if you just keep your hair in a blowout or if you just keep flat ironing it. Don't do that. Also, when you flat iron your hair all throughout your transition, what can happen when you flat iron it too much, you can get heat damage. So you can actually damage your curly hair to the point where your curly natural hair starts to look relaxed. It starts to blend with the relaxed hair, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to go through your transition for a year and flat iron your hair only to discover that you've damaged your natural hair. So don't flat iron your hair throughout your entire transition, as opposed to taking your natural curly hair, and making it look straight by flat ironing it. Flip it around. Take your relaxed straight hair and make it look curly. Again, you do that by doing rod sets, roller sets, and flat twist outs. They are beautiful, and again, they mimic natural hair. You want to start seeing yourself with non-straight hair. Okay, so also in terms of hairstyles, while we're talking about hairstyles, styles such as braids and sew-ins and wigs, you can do those styles as well during your transition, but I caution you, Don't let that be the only style that you do. So some women will start to grow out their relaxed hair, and they only get braids for a year, or they only wear a wig for a year. And what that does, even though it's convenient and it's okay to do it from time to time, but when you have your hair out as you're transitioning, it forces you to take care of your hair. If you have a twist out, for example, it forces you to retwist your hair if you need to, or with the rod set, it forces you to pin curl your hair at night or maintain the curls so that you get in the habit of actually touching your hair, playing in your hair, maintaining your hair, because when you're all natural, you're definitely going to have to maintain your hair, and the maintenance for natural hair is very different from the maintenance from relaxed hair. So do those hairstyles which blend those two textures. And also part 3, or tip number 3, is to keep that new growth moisturized. So moisture is key with natural hair. Depending on where you are in your transition, if you have not figured it out by now, your natural hair is dry. Like, you're probably going to be blown away at how dry your natural hair is. It is super, super dry. And it's dry because your sebaceous gland, which helps to lubricate the hair with relaxed or straighter textured hair, your sebum produced from the sebaceous gland travels down your hair shaft. And because your hair is curly, it's just more difficult for that sebum to travel down the curly hair, thereby making your hair dry. So if you do not keep that hair moisturized, particularly the new growth is what I'm referring to, then the hair is going to be more susceptible to breaking off. And you don't want that during your transition. So when your hair is out, you are able to better moisturize the new growth, keeping that hair hydrated. That is number 3. Number 4, you need to deep condition your hair. Deep condition, deep condition, deep condition. Like, this is going to be key during the transition. What happens when you have what I call the tale of the two textures, meaning you have new growth and you have relaxed hair, 2 different textures. And when you have 2 different textures between the new growth hair and between the relaxed hair, between the two, and both of them are fighting on your head, which one is stronger? Which one do you think will win the fight? Okay, you got it. Your new growth, your natural hair. Your natural hair is simply stronger than your relaxed hair. Therefore, it's going to be important that you keep that new growth hydrated, and you do that with deep conditioning, right? Very, very important that you get in the habit of deep conditioning your hair, probably every time you wash your hair. So if you wash your hair once a week, do it once a week. If you wash your hair every 2 weeks, do it every 2 weeks. Keep that hair deep conditioned. That is going to help minimize the breakage that you may experience during your transition. Because remember, again, if you got the tale of 2 textures, the new growth or the natural hair is stronger than the relaxed hair. And at some point, you'll have so much new growth that that relaxed hair may start to break off. So you want to do as much as you can to keep that new growth moisturized and hydrated, right? And also with the deep conditioner, during that process, it does soften the hair, and it's going to help with that detangle process, because your hair can get very, very tangly as you are transitioning. You want to get in the habit, number 5, of getting a trim regularly. So do not let your hair grow out and not get a trim for 6, 7, 8 months. Because what's going to happen, 1, your hair is going to get longer. And you know how we do. We like long hair. So the longer our hair gets, the less inclined we are to cut it off. So you don't want to do that. But so that you don't have so much relaxed hair, you grow a little here and trim a little here. So I typically recommend that you get a trim every 2 months. The trim is not necessarily trimming your hair for the health of your hair, so to speak. You are really just gradually trimming off that relaxed hair so that you don't have to trim it all off at once. So if you trim an inch off here, you've grown that inch off, you've grown it at the scalp or at the root. So grow a little, trim a little. If you do it like that, you're gradually letting go of that relaxed hair, for one. And then two, your hair is not going to have to fight as much. Your new growth hair, rather, is not going to have to fight as much with the relaxed hair because you are gradually cutting it off. So those are my 5 tips, 5 things that you can do to properly transition. Now, I grabbed these 5 tips out of the book that I wrote. Yes, you can. A quick and easy guide to natural hair. This book that I wrote is all about how to properly transition. Also, it teaches you about how to just maintain your natural hair as well after you transition. So this book, I will put the link below if it's something that you're interested in getting. So in addition to the book gives you the education. The other thing that you can do is start learning about natural hair now. You don't have to wait until you're all natural to learn how to care for your natural hair. You're on YouTube, look at videos, look at people's journeys, start learning about natural hair. You can start to Google other people's transition journeys, because those journeys, when you see other people do it, it encourages you to keep going. And I encourage you to keep going. You can do it. Keep going. I will be your #1 cheerleader. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss a video. Until we talk again, stay back.